I've been watching Hot Ones.
Oh, aye.
I really fucking like
the
it.
one where the celebrities go on and eat hot chicken wings that get progressively hotter. And some of them can handle it really well. And some of them...
Paul Rudd, my man Paul Rudd.
Aye.
He just made us dead proud. I was like, that's why I love you.
Aye. Did he get all the way to the end?
Didn't touch his milk.
Didn't touch his milk?
Didn't touch his milk. Yeah, he just started crying towards the end because his eyes were water and he didn't want to touch his eyes because he got fucking hot sauce in it.
Aye.
He just went, let's do a scene. And the guy, what's his name? Sean
Chicken Wings.
Sean Chicken Wings. Yeah, let's do a scene. And he just broke into a scene.
Aye.
It's like, it's chemistry that, like. Wish I had that with Daniel. Oh my God.
Well, maybe we're just missing spicy foods. Do you reckon you could eat spicier food than me?
You know what? I was watching it. I think I'd get up to 4 before I started flinching, and then I think I'd be a fucking clip by the end of it.
Aye.
Because they do 10 different like levels of spices, don't they?
See, I used to be an absolute spice wuss. Like, just was very much like chicken korma.
You're a korma nonce?
Well, hey. Look, I still, even though I like spicy foods now, I love a korma, and I think all this bigotry towards korma. Look, I'm not claiming it's traditional Indian food. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying, oh God, the taste of India. I know if I was to order it out there, they would fucking slap me. But I'm not ordering there. I'm ordering it in the middle of Edinburgh because I am a middle class white man, and it's nice and it goes well with naan. And I think all of this, quite frankly, homophobia towards like colour.
I mean, I didn't say what gender you were noncing on when I called you a fucking korma nonce. But you don't like curry. You like chicken soup. What you want? You went to an Indian's and went, "What's the best way I could order Baxter's chicken soup and get away with it?"
It's delicious. And look, I like a buna, I like a jalfrezi, but sometimes you just, you can't be, you don't want to put your arsehole through it the next day. You make a decision for your body.
You're in a curry house and don't want a curry is what's happening.
But I'm not ordering in curry houses. I'm not going to their establishment and disrespecting them. I'm not going to, go to your kitchen where you cook real fucking food and make me the worst version of what, that's not what I'm doing, right? I'm going, look, I'm going to eat this in the privacy of my own home. Like, you don't have to acknowledge you made it. I'm not going to acknowledge that I'm eating it. Cullen's still a bigot about the whole thing. Every time I order it, Cullen's like, man, the guy slapped me. Like, I've just woken up. Like, I opened the door, I took it in, the guy punched me in the face and he went, never order a korma again.
Especially for breakfast, you say in the morning. You woke Cullen up.
No.
Well into the afternoon.
Well, yes, aye.
Sorry, I didn't think of the variables. Like cormac. It's like I've been for all you can eat buffet with my friends before, and one of them come back to the table with smiley faces from the Chinese. And I'm like, I don't even know where you found them. Where do you get smiley faces, and why are you eating here? Yeah. You don't want to eat here.
I thought the fried potato they did here would be dumplings.
How have you got fish fingers?
And you've put it on a white bread. Oh, not a fucking fish finger sandwich. Jesus Christ.
How have you got waffles?
Yeah, mayo. I bet there's somebody out there that does.
Ask for mayo at the Chinese.
No. Like, this is their favourite fucking meal, is bit of white bread, butter, fish fingers, mayo, bit of butter, bread.
That's like, it can't be a favourite meal, but it's like staple.
But it would be like that would be the food that like black people make fun of us for. Like that's like man, I reckon if we go to like deep into black podcasts, they're making fun of people for we're going to be brought on a podcast as an example of like this is them talking about one of their favorite foods.
That's
it's a bland ass.
It's a type of food where your ma calls you in for dinner because you're playing football and you didn't want the game to end, so you fucking remember the score. You go, 2 minutes, lads. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Right?
And also when you come back out, some cunts change the fucking score because they think you've got a shite memory. Don't think I don't know what you're up to.
And you've been sitting on the ball and you've egged it. I'm going to play with a fucking egged ball now, man, with the wrong score just because I went in. So you're going in and then you've got your fish finger sandwiches. You're like, I can play football with that. Cheers, man, I love
you. Yeah, I'm even in goals, so I reckon I'll be fine. Just jump up in the air, catch it with my knees.
Just fucking grab it. Now it's falling into that sandwich. Like,
I mean, I understand. I'm not making fun of like fish finger sandwich. If that's your favourite, if you like that as a sandwich, that's fair enough. The mayo makes you a bad person. I had a crisp sandwich last night.
Did you?
I can't remember who'd mentioned it, But so, I think I was on like a fucking trashy reality TV show I was watching, and somebody had a crisp sandwich. I was like, oh, those are class though.
I ironically opened a crisp sandwich shop in Belfast. I was out there doing gigs, and me and Aaron McCann, shout out Aaron McCann, we went to the crisp sandwich shop, and it was like fucking overpriced crisp butties, right?
Aye.
And they done it as like I think they done it as like a piss take of hipster places popping up, like cereal bars and all that, right? They only popped up for a while, and it fucking survived on irony alone, and it was full. It was
and also not irony alone. Also, it was set up in Belfast.
It become the thing it hated.
Aye.
It become the thing it was set to take the piss out of.
Are there hipsters in Belfast?
This is what I believe happened anyway.
Aye.
They might have just made it earnestly, knowing that people would have shown up.
Speaking of Belfast, didn't fucking
that might be like that may be Michelin star in Belfast. Is that what you're saying?
Aye. No. I'm just saying, like, there's no fucking people will go there in the same sense that fucking tradies will go to like a good greasy fucking spoons, like fucking Roseburn down back where we used to fucking live. Perfect. Knew exactly what it was one of the best fucking restaurants I've ever been to. Nobody of like
nobody's wilting spinach. Nobody's trying to fucking scoop out an avocado.
Nah, they're just there making fucking big full Scottishes, big full Englishes. Aye. No, they can scramble them in front. They do.
They're not poaching it.
They're not poaching. Aye.
They're not putting it in a poached egg.
And everyone there's just got a fucking arse cracker.
The salmon hasn't seen that kitchen.
Aye. That's like, you know when you watch the cooking shows on Netflix, and it's always like, they'll go to like, what's the traditional food of Thailand? What's the traditional? I'm like, to get into the traditional food of here is
Great Britain or the island of Scotland.
No, well, aye. People always say that Scottish, it's like Britain's got bad fucking food. And you go, no. Like, our food is all the other people's food. Like, we admitted that we weren't the best of it. And steak pie's class, so fucking watch your manners, and haggis is brilliant.
Fucking, they didn't have pies in Ireland.
Eh?
Cullen was like, I was like, we're just going for something to eat after. We'd had a heavy night out after the show. I was like, I'll do fucking pie and chips in. I'm not feeling particularly healthy. He's like, you're not getting a pie around here. I was like, you're tired about you're not getting a pie here. He's like, anywhere in Europe, just the UK is the only place you can get a pie. And I'm like, shut the fuck up, is pie a local delicacy for a small island? Fuck off. Like, but he's got a point. Have you had a pie in mainland Europe?
No, the only other place I can think of is Australia, and that's obviously, we did that.
One of the colonies. So I can't mind ever having like pie and chips or like a mince pie in America, maybe pork pie. Nothing. I kind of think, like, my mind's blank. I don't think I've seen it on the menu. But it might just be Cullen. You know how sometimes Cullen just like hasn't heard of bunting.
Oh, I never heard of the moon. What's that black sun that comes out during?
It's the back of the sun. Obviously, we'll rotate around the sun.
Aye.
Like, what do you think the back of it looks like? It makes fucking perfect sense.
Aye.
Half the day, you're at the front of it. Okay, there's the back of it.
Did they have the moon in Ireland, or do you all just fucking howl at it? You savages.
So you hadn't heard of bunting?
Aye. No, I want you to answer my earlier question. Who do you think would win fucking Spice Challenge between you and me?
Oh, you know what, Ray? I think you'd have a better time tolerance-wise. I think I'd have a better time just having the balls-wise. I think I could go higher past my threshold of what was what was like harmful to what you could. You would get up to a harmful threshold and then probably stop like one level, one Scoville over.
It's Scovilles, aye.
One Scoville over that, right? Whereas
the one Scoville's not a lot. Like, when they're talking about the Scovilles, it's 300 million, aye. It's like the ruble.
Zimbabwean dollars. I think like if we went toe to toe on Hot Ones, I think I would probably both reach the end. Maybe, I don't know, because like, especially cameras rolling, you're not gonna puss out, are you?
Well, no, I've got no problem looking like a fucking. I know what I am. I've publicly defended eating cormac.
Had on. Would you puss out on Hot Ones?
If it got to exactly what you said, if it got to the point where I was like, I'm in physical fucking pain.
Don't go on it then.
No. You go
on it to, like, you're not going to gan on and just
I'll push myself.
You're not going to gan on and just let them down and do like an 8-minute interview. Fuck you for even going on.
First of all, I can talk about myself for way longer than that. There'll be, it'll be in between things. I get, how many if they did like 15, I'd say I would push myself to get to 12 or 13. But like the final two, I'd be like, man, it's not. Mind you, I say that as if I'm not a competitive person. I am fucking toxic on the Peloton.
Oh, yeah.
I am a toxic human being.
My heart actually bled for you the other day when you told us about your moral quandary.
Oh, aye.
About to keep on with your Peloton. Tell it.
Oh, well, just so, I've got the Peloton because things are going well and I'm trying to get back into shape because my metabolism is fucking dead. But unfortunately, what happens in my life now is if you spend 30 or 45 minutes on a fucking Peloton, you sweat so much that there's no way you can convince your brain that you don't deserve to eat whatever you eat for the rest, whatever you want to eat for the rest of the fucking day.
Even though you can't outrun a bad diet. You can keep the wolf away from the gate.
But man,
you can stop the damage.
But it looks like you can. Like the amount I fucking, like I can't do it with a shirt on. Like I just like drip sweat. Like you need to mop it about. I'm like, that just in pints is 2 pints. So like I can have 2 pints quite easily and not feel fucking bad. I mean, there's no evidence to suggest this is true physically, by the way. Anyway.
If you're eating Easter eggs for like breakfast.
Anyway, so originally I was just on the Peloton just to get back into shape, but I can't help but fucking look at the scoreboard and push myself beyond my personal best. And last Wednesday, I was doing 45 minutes and I was going fucking hell for leather. I was just like, fuck it, absolutely. Let's just find out like what my absolute fucking limits are as a person.
On a live one?
Not live, but like
but you joined the playback at a specified time so that everybody started together.
Yes, there are like 545 people on it, I think it was, right? And I'm about to like fucking no, it wasn't 545. It was about out of 130. 545 was a different one. 130, which isn't that fucking many, but right? It's a very small race. Right.
But if you're lined up on bikes at the starting line, it would feel like a lot of bikes.
Aye, I'm going well beyond my PB, and at literally 45 seconds from the end, Cara phones me because she's been breastfeeding, and somebody's come to the door, and it's the gate guy, and he needs to speak to me, and she obviously can't do it while she's breastfeeding.
I'm gonna call this. It must have been more than 45 seconds because he wouldn't have stopped. It must have been like 3 minutes.
It was, sorry.
It had to be an amount of time that like the gate guy would walk away if it didn't get answered. 45 seconds, you could probably just go, right, I'm coming, I'm on my way. Like you could probably.
But But it wasn't. But it was also, man, it was definitely like under 5. Like it wasn't like. It was like, I'm in the last fucking throws, these are as much as my legs have left. So I'm going to say like fucking 3 minutes. But, man, she's breastfeeding. Like, she's not going to stand and fucking talk to a guy. And also, I hate keeping people waiting as well. So I had to fucking leave and lose my best time.
I'd hate that.
That's not even the fucking toxic bit though, right? So there's an option. And it's only toxic because how I use it, by the way. Peloton, it's great. There's an option. When you're cycling and you're with other people, like you can high five people. It's the only form of interaction you can do. Like if somebody gets 100 rides, it lets you know, hey, it's their 100th ride today. And you go, oh, well done you, high five. And it just comes on their screen, you go high five. If it's like their birthday, like the anniversary of when they got the fucking Peloton.
People just high five people that are at the back.
No.
Oh, but would they just see that as encouragement?
They would. Every time I overtake somebody on the live scoreboard, it's not a high five. I'm patting your arse.
Yeah, high five as you pass.
I'm patting your arse on the way back. Yeah. So I'm just like every single time I high five someone, I'm just like, hurry up.
It also makes it look like you're doing it with ease too, because they'll be like knuckle down, like white knuckle, just fucking going at it, and you're just like, they just imagine you just sat up straight, just twiddling with a touch screen.
Yeah.
Give me a finger.
Just right off. Oh, it's so good. But to be fair, like I was telling Karen this the other day, and I'm like, I'd do it with vengeance. I'd do it with fucking glee in my face. Like, there's a camera on the Peloton. I don't know what it's for. I've never seen my own face on the fucking screen. But like above the screen, there's that little hole where the camera is. And if there was a feature which you could fucking pay to like put your face on the other person's screen every time you overtook them, I would be a platinum fucking member.
Just your bright purple sweaty mug. Just
sweat. Just some little old lady enjoying her rehabilitation from her knee that went out last year. She's not trying to be any personal bad. She's just recovering. You fucking slow bitch! Catch up, grandma. 5 seconds. I would pay for that feature. 10 quid a week, or every time you used it.
Like what used to happen on Call of Duty, where you just get like 5 seconds of the person's audio that you just murdered.
Aye.
So you just get to hear them screaming. I don't think they do that anymore, do they?
No, the only place they do that now is with real murders.
Just
you
real
get to hear
murder.
the last 5 seconds of their screaming.
Yeah, and then it stops.
Aye.
It stops.
Yeah,
Like,
if it doesn't, it's not a murder. You
why
failed.
did
You're
it
bad.
stop?
I had my first night full solo with...
On the Peloton. You've been doing you on one side, Colin on the other. Just like one of them old mining carts.
Oh man, it's also very funny how different me come and treat the Peloton. Like, just the competitive fucking nature within me, right? I just can't now. It's just gone off my... I don't know if it's because like I'm like I'm in my 30s, or whether it's because like I've put on so much weight where I'm just like, I don't want to get into good shit. I don't know what it is, or whether I'm just a toxic fucking person and I'm like, this is the only place I can get it out. But like, I'm being fucking vicious on that. Cullen comes out on this thing just for like the Hawaii rides.
Just as a casual...
It's like somebody's literally put a GoPro on their head. They've cycled around an island.
I've seen the ones.
Hawaii, and then it just goes, okay, you're going up a slight incline now. Maybe turn it up to 13, and Colin's like, ooh, sore on the knees. Okay, well, I guess we'll turn it up a bit. I guess it's a 1 degree hill. Fair enough.
Cullen comes in and he just puts a basket on the front and puts some groceries in and that.
Couple of baguettes.
little baby seat for Caleb.
He comes out, he's wearing high vis.
Comes in, he pops his stabilizers on the side. Little bell, ring ring. Some little tassels coming off the head.
Meanwhile, I'm on there overtaking people who were just trying to do a positive thing in their life, and I'm like, you slow cut. But they don't know. I don't think they know. I think everyone else is I like to believe that the world is such a nicer place than me, that they are just like, oh, how supportive. Like, that's a guy that's, you know, going back, because I mean, that's where you should be. Like, if you're exercising at any point in your day, well done you. It should always be encouraged. And that's why I wouldn't do this in a gym.
Nah, you wouldn't do like cycling around the park. Again, run Victoria Park.
No. But
someone's commuting to work and you're like, fucking dickhead.
Aye. But that's the thing, right? There's something about, like, but this is why I think the internet should just now be illegal, because there is just this level of toxicity that comes out of me. And I think I'm quite a good person most of the time. But if I'm given anonymity, I'll be a fucking cunt. I'll be
connected but anonymous should be illegal.
Yes, 100%. Like, unless it's something you specifically fucking pay for it in both parties, because you should never just be allowed to interact with someone. Like, because that would be fucking back in the day. Like, if you want, like back in the day, if you wanted to be racist to a stranger, right, you had to like get the Australian phone book, right? You got it from a friend of a friend of a friend.
Did you used to do that? Go through the phone book.
I did when I was younger. You had to find out where your friends were to phone them every Saturday morning. Can Craig come out and play? No, he's sleeping at 7 a.m.
I some couldn't buy that nickname when I rang the house. I was like, "Is Beaver in?" And that mother proper kicked off with us.
Beaver, I give him a good name. His name's Clive, and his teeth are his dad's. Oh man, you go through the Australian fucking phone book.
You should put the phone down and continue to build that dam.
Some fucking people, I swear to God. Like, if you want to be big into Australia, you go through that fucking Australian phone book, you find a name that sounded foreign, and you were like, that sounds like somebody who belongs to the group of people I hate. You phone that number, hope they answer for a very extortion free, and then you yell something racist on the phone. Nowadays, you can just do it online, anonymous, nobody knows who you are. Just yell at any minority anywhere in the world for free. How is that not illegal and restricted?
It's not on.
It's not on. It'll go. It'll need to go.
But you want more of it on your Peloton.
No. Because I can feel... I like, it's when people go, oh, why are people horrible online? I'm like, don't get me wrong, I'd never go as far as these people do. But I'm not going to pretend I don't know where it comes from. Like, I don't... Man,
yeah.
Like, I'm not going to pretend I'm so pure that I'm like, whoa, why would these people do this? I'm like, because you gave them invisibility.
Yeah, like,
you gave them an invisibility cloak. And we all know what we'd actually do with an invisibility cloak. Fuck you. And not necessarily the pervy things, but we would not, every single one of us would break the fucking law instantly. Mm-hmm. And I think if you wouldn't, oh, Jesus, dweeb.
So it's like when you see somebody doing something like that, you're not like, oh, why did you do that? You're like, I can't believe you did that. Like, we all had the... I could have done that, but I didn't because I'm not a psycho.
Whenever I
wanted to. I heard their voice in my head.
Yeah, look, right. It's the difference between whenever I hear, like, a paedophile was found with 17 terabytes of porn, I'm like, how the fuck did you do that? Like, I literally can't fathom why you did that. Yeah. But when they're like, somebody stole this amount of money from a bank, I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. Like, I understand why that took place.
We've got past the why.
Yeah. Well, oh no, not the bank. no. They stole all these innocent people's money. No, they didn't. They stole the bank's money. It's the bank's job.
They were already stealing it.
Yeah, fuck them. Like, no, I don't care. It was like when fucking Xbox Live came out. I was the most toxic man. Thank God none of that was recorded, because I would rightfully...
Surprise, Daniel, there's a reason we're here.
Oh, man.
Imagine I just wheeled out to the old recording.
Thank God people could only get fucking cancelled from like their old Twitter accounts back before we knew what Twitter would become. Thank God there's no, like, here's a recording of every Xbox, because my life would be over. I'd have to throw myself off of a fucking... I was 13 and angry, and I had free reign to tell Americans anything I wanted that I thought about them with zero consequences.
Fucking so happy my hot-headed spell as a human wasn't recorded.
Right? I'm going through puberty. I've not fully discovered masturbation yet. I'm angry, I'm angsty, I'm going through growing pains, and I'm just going, you fat fucking cunt.
I hate the world and everyone's my punch bag.
Yeah. And I've not been punched before. I'm 13. There's no consequences to my words yet.
What you're saying now is the person that felt the repercussions of those actions?
Yeah. Or developed empathy.
I've had checks and balances.
Yeah.
Dished out a few.
I think we get rid of the anon. But leave me you've got to leave some of it somewhere. And I think because the Peloton toxicity is anonymous toxicity, but it can be only I know that it's evil.
You're channeling it.
Aye.
And then you're going out into the world and you're just like, oh, that fucking South Park where Kyle's dad is online just bashing people.
Yeah, he's so happy.
It's just affecting his mental health so good. He's like walking just with, like everyone's like the loser, but he's so fucking sad and all that. It's like, making my way downtown.
Aye. So I had my first night with my son the other day. Cara had a hen do. So it was just me and just the baby cause she was going to, she left like 7. And she was like, I could be back anywhere between like 2, right? And I was like, stay out as long as you can. Stay as long as you want. Enjoy your fucking freedom. I've got this. I'm very good at this. And I think deep down, she wanted me to have a bit of a rough time. Not like him kicking down the fucking house, not my baby distressed. She would never want her baby to be distressed, not that. But she wanted like him to not be, it take a while to get him down. Like he's just awake all the time because, you know, that's how most of her existence, because she's breastfeeding. There's so much of a day where she just has to be sitting down and feeding this child, and there's nothing she can do about it. Whereas I'm like, I can burp him and I can fucking put him to sleep, but there's some points which is just your job. This was a night where that wasn't going to be an option. Well, obviously he's got all the milk. I had to fucking wake him up.
Well, he's just chilling the whole day.
Fell asleep 5 minutes after she fucking left, and then literally like 3 hours later, it's just that point where, as a parent, you're like...
Was he just like opening one eye and so it's just you and pretend to be asleep again? Like, fuck, man, I'm stuck with this cunt.
Well, man, I tell you what, the cat didn't fuck off. Whenever Cara's in the house, fucking Ray go in the garden, go look around, go do whatever she wants, fucking roll the roost. When I was there, Ray was just like... Wait, what do you mean she's gone? She's left the baby with you. Like every room I moved Kaelin to was...
Ray's there like, now I'm the primary carer.
Like, well, to be fair...
She could have given us a fucking heads up.
To be in Ray's defence, the first time she realised this was when Cullen wasn't back yet, and I was just through playing Horizon Zero Dawn with Kaelin just in his little fun, and she came through and was like, oh, so you're not taking this seriously at all. So there the entire time.
You know, because I've been organising your stag doing stuff, and then
I've got something to tell you about that as well. But
off record.
No, I can do it on the record. Yeah. I got a text yesterday from someone saying, "Hey man, thanks for the invite to the stag."
Oh, fuck off! What's wrong with people, man? The fuck is wrong with people?
Yeah.
Oh my god! You know what, I felt like saying it, but I'm just like, well, everybody knows, right? Like I felt like going, like, keep it, because I mean, fuck's wrong?
And
I'm
let
going
me
to have to be more explicit with people.
Let me tell you.
And I already wrote quite a long message with some information, right? I was trying to make it concise.
Aye.
Right? And I was trying not to make it too long because anybody wants it too long didn't read text. They're probably busy with a day. There might be a graft, right?
Yeah.
So I tried to just go, this is the information you need for now. Lock this date out, whatever. I didn't think I needed to fucking put a T's and C's in the small font at the bottom.
Well, let me tell you, getting the text from this person, which is the man, I think I know 90% of the people who are coming to my stag do anyway. There's just the very, very obvious ones. But this one was like finding out that your first Christmas present is your hand grenade.
You got to text off something. He was meant to be he was like a proper surprise. Cause like, I think.
Well, because the second you find out you're going to Vegas with Soppy, you're like, well, I might not come back alive.
Fuck, man, good. That was one of my nice things. Because this is the thing, right? You've got like there's a handful of people where if they weren't there, you would be like, what? They didn't make it and all that, right? But there's a handful of people where you'd go, oh, sweet, this person is
nice
also here, nice re-addition and all that, right? Like fucking Bruce's
and
bonus.
Soppit was not one of them. Soppit's a curveball from the left. I was saying
that was me fucking ace in the hole. That like. Now I'm gonna have to invite Milan.
I was telling Cara, I was like 5 years ago, if Kai had invited Soppit to my stag do, I never would have spoken to Kai again, and I wouldn't have come back from Vegas probably. Whereas now I'm like, oh no, I was like genuinely chuffed. I'm like, look, don't get me wrong, I'm still doomed. I'm still gonna be in a bit of fucking danger, but it's no longer the man that used to drink pints of rosé wine
out the box.
Oh,
out the box! You were drinking out the fucking little funnel in the box.
No, he would pour what he would.
He would pour it in pint glasses.
He would literally pour pints of rosé wine into pint glasses and would go pint for pint with you with whatever you were drinking. If you were drinking Carlsberg, if you were doing fucking Koppenberg, he's like, I'll go pint for pint with you, and he put you to fucking sleep. And now he's calmed down a bit.
A lot.
Aye.
Canny bit.
Aye, and he's
I thought I'd bring him to retirement.
Man, really, I imagine that is what happened. Like it's just one of those fucking scenes where it's like he's off in the woods, like he's like carving something into wood, and he's just like, I've not done this in a very long time. You knew I quit, and you knew I quit for a reason. You've got to come back, Zappin. It's Sloss and Stag.
That Rambo 3 scene.
Aye, I've not seen any of the Rambo movies.
I think we've had a conversation similar to this before on a different topic, but we've had a few conversations that we repeat. So I've got to get back through because I didn't want to start a WhatsApp group yet until when it's at the fucking save the date phase and that. But it looks like I'm going to have to
because people are thick.
Your
mates are thick.
Did you reply to them?
I think.
What did you tell it?
I think I said, looking forward to seeing you, man. Just remember, I have a family now, so a couple of theatre shows, a nice walk down the strip and a whiskey before bed.
He's already started making plans with Udas. I heard your last on we'll call it a Valerie. We've named it a Valerie because Natalie's alter ego is Valerie, and Valerie just can't keep her fucking mouth shut. Like if there's a hen party coming up, right? She'll just be like, she'll sidle up next to her friend on a night out and the build up to the hen party. And are you looking forward to going to the Sofa France? And they're like, when am I going to the Sofa France? It's just like, I was just thinking that's where I thought you were going with the kids. And like trying to style it in and like, that's where I'm going for my hen party, is it? So she's like, Valerie's turned up like multiple times. She one time fucking, they played a prank on, long story short, she took a video of her friend doing a prank phone call and sent it to the group of the person that the prank was meant to be on and just blew the prank. She's done something like that, right? Valerie does it. So Soppit did a Valerie. Your last did a Valerie.
With her friends.
Has that happened already?
Yes.
Right. So I didn't want to do a Valerie on. Yeah. Your friend was about to get proposed to.
Yes, Cara's best friend was getting proposed to, and her best friend, before I proposed to Cara, this is the friend I got in contact with. Was like, give me a ring size and help me with all the things. And so her boyfriend did the exact same thing to Cara.
Her bottom bitch.
Aye.
So she did the exact same thing to Cara. Didn't Cara show Jill a message that she had because the top half of the message was interesting to her.
Yeah,
and the second half of the message was, has Jill been proposed to yet?
yeah. It was like her mum being like, does Jill have any idea? Is she still living in a world where she doesn't know she's being proposed to? Right? And so Cara, just like she didn't know us at the time. It was her first night out drinking. She wasn't fucking drunk by any means. But you know, you don't read the top message. You're just showing the bottom one. Jill like politely puts the phone back in a very like, hey, Cara's like, no, read the whole message. And she's like, no, it's good. Cara comes back, wakes up the next day, like mortified, being like, oh God, I've ruined everything. But she goes ahead, she gets proposed to. They said yes, congratulations to both. And Cara like took her to the side. She was like, I have to know, like, did you see the message last night? And she was like, yeah, but also he's not subtle. Or like I've known for months he was going to fucking propose. Like this morning he went and did a food shop that lasted 2 hours and came back with 2 bottles of champagne. Like I'm not an idiot. He is. And he's been very nervous all day. Like we timed a walk together. Why would we time a walk? So yeah, and also like Jill's just like Grant was like, there's nothing you can hide from her. She would even if fucking like aye. So it's like Jill was like, you give me the last 3% of a puzzle, but like you know, I'd worked it all out. Unlike me.
It's hard to like if somebody like takes control of situations and shit. It's hard to propose to those guys.
It's like that time that I accidentally organised my own
birthday. Yeah, we started lighting the candles on your birthday cake, and you grabbed the birthday cake, carried it through, started the singing "Happy Birthday," and people are like following you through and joining in, going, "Who does he think this is for?"
I thought it was for Beebs.
It was his leaving do.
I know, but it
was his leaving do.
It was his leaving do, yes, and that's why I was confused. But it also wasn't my birthday. The reason it was my birthday cake was because on my actual birthday 2 weeks before, I'd bought myself a birthday cake, and I'd said to Jean and Ali at some point during the night, bring me this cake. Like, I've just organised everything. We'll have some birthday cake. And then like the next day woke up and people had just like, obviously, man, we were drunk, we were stoned. People had just gone into the fridge to get their beer, seen a birthday cake and went, oh fuck yeah, absolutely, yum yum yum. Right, reasonable. But I was fucking hungover and I needed to be angry about something, so I was upset about that. So they organised the birthday cake for that party and then tried to keep me in the living room, and I was trying to keep oh no, that was it. I'd walk through to the kitchen and Jim and Ali were lighting the birthday cakes and just blood drains from their face because they're like,
they were rumbled.
And my dumb stoned ass goes, is that for
Out of the way, guys, I've got this. I'm the master of organising stuff. I want to take all the credit.
No, I mean, that is me in a nutshell.
This is going to look like my idea.
Yeah, no. Just and also, you'll all do it wrong. I'm sorry. I'm just very good at. Also, you failed to organise my birthday cake 2 weeks ago. There's no way you'll nail Beebs' one now. Yeah. But I go to them. I'm like, do you need me to keep Beebs in the living room? And they're like, sure. Okay. Beebs has been given the same instructions. So I go into the living room.
So you're keeping each other in the living room.
Yes. Beebs is like, what are we?
By the way, he was doing a terrible job at it.
Yeah, that.
But it was the bit where you got to the name "Happy Birthday" to you, and then you were about to say Beebs, and we all went, Daniel? Question mark.
Aye.
Like, oh, penny drops. Back to proposals.
That also happened with I think another surprise party for myself is I'd organised everyone to come to my house for 8, but I'd agreed to go, Jean had organised for a bunch of other people to come up and set the room up nice and get everything fucking ready and be more people than I expected it to be. And she invited me down to her work, and the reason she invited me to her work is because she wanted me at the fucking house.
Aye.
Right? And it was under the guise of, we'll go to your favourite restaurant, we'll go to Fisher's. I was like, we can do it the weekend. She's like, no. Gets me to the pub and just tries her best to get me fucking mangled because it's the only way I'll stop looking at my phone and being like, we've got to get back. People are going to arrive at 8.
You've got ants in your pants sometimes.
You know I'm a time Nazi.
Aye.
I'm a real big time Nazi. It's important to be on time. And it's important to explain to people why you're late. And it's important to organise your day so that you are punctual.
Drink up so you can get to the next place.
Look, we've got a lot of fun to have. We might as well have it in the shortest amount of time. Condensed fun. And then we get to go home and get a good 8 hours sleep.
when we're talking about proposals, I want to tell you about Kat and Woodsy. Kat, who I lived with in London, Natalie's best friend, getting married to a boyfriend who.
I know what marriage is.
And I was just filling everybody else in.
For the slower listener.
I get it. Natalie tells us I fucking over-explain stuff all the time, and since she tells us I keep catching myself and I hate it. I fucking keep catching myself and I fucking hate it. I'm like, the way I process my thoughts is just throw them all out.
No. I also think it's a fucking stand-up thing because I often catch myself over-explaining things. But I think it's when you're and I'm sorry to throw a massive excuse over this that just covers me and my best friend here. But when you perform internationally,
you don't want to leave anyone behind.
You know, like there's gaps in the language, there's gaps in understanding turns of phrases and stuff.
I'll say stuff multiple ways of saying it, so that you'll catch one of them.
Yeah, because if you're performing to a Lithuanian audience who might not know what a fortnight is, so you'll go a fortnight, 2 weeks. And it sounds, but you still do that in your everyday life, and you're just explaining really obvious things to people that are smarter than you, and they're looking at you like, "Does this cunt think he's smarter than me? Does he think I needed that explained?"
I had done it. Andy Akins, he was telling us about this bad corporate gig that he did, and against did he get compensated for it at least? Was it worth it for the money? Yeah. And he was like, "I know what compensated means. I thought you were my friend. A friend's someone you like a lot."
That's cracking banter. It's very quick.
Nah, I killed us. It made us feel bad and laugh at the same time. Woodsy, who's way shorter than Kat, took her out to sea on holiday and got down on one knee.
She stepped over him. Woodsy, what are you?
She's just looking up at this just ring coming out of the water like it's been presented by Poseidon, and just these bubbles like she's grabbing his bald head. Baldy! Suntan lotioned up, trying to get him above the water to propose. This isn't how I imagined it. Very funny.
Aye.
Funny times. Your wedding's starting to, and I was going to say starting to approach. I feel like it's swift approaching because it feels like we're out the other side of the pandemic now.
Still
right?
over a year away.
It's still over a year ago, but I feel like the balls properly started rolling on everybody's weddings now. You know, all these like speculated weddings that just seem to be like, I've proposed, I'm engaged, and you're like, congratulations, here's a balloon.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh shit, it's happening now. The fucking
it was
party's
the first
starting.
day. It was the first day of a 100-day diet, where it's like it only exists in concepts.
Aye, and then like a few weeks in, you're like noticing gains.
Aye.
Now I've got because fucking Khan asked us to be best man by text, and I replied to him going, you're not at your second wedding when you're texting like, mate, I've already got 2027 in for your third one. and then I was with Matty, which we'll talk about this because we went to the match, and Matty we had a bite to eat
with which match? Sorry,
Pincer.
That's
Matty the Pincer.
Yeah, right, but that doesn't. What match?
Oh, which match? I said which Matt.
No.
Can you see how that was confusing?
Well, yeah, but except we don't call him Matt.
I went to Man United versus Atletico Madrid in the Champions League because his last is a Man U fan and had tickets and just couldn't get on. So he was like, do you want to come? I was like, yep, I will. Went for a meal, and then he gets to us. He's like, do you know who's best man for Khan? I was like, aye, he's asked me and Gav and all that. He was like, can you be asked to do it 3 times? I was like, are you asking me out? He was like, I'm just checking your availability, you know. And then I was like, well, I wouldn't let you do it, mate. I've got time on my hands. Like, I'm working a lot less at the minute, and I wouldn't shortchange you if I was your best man. I'd be honoured, is what I'm saying, and all that, right? And then his lass come in and caught wind of the way the conversation was taking place, and she was like, "Is this how you're asking him? By asking if he can be asked?" And I still don't know if I am. That's what the conversation was like. I was being put on a shortlist.
It's just like just checking your availability for June, May. That's when my wedding is next year.
So his is the back end of June. So I think I'm like 3 times best man now. So this is fucking class. Right. I could just get organised a bunch of fun shit.
I was really genuinely about to say, I was like, I don't think I've ever done it. No, I've done it.
You done it for me?
Yeah, I did. Aye.
Short memory.
I really do have a short fucking memory.
So then, in way of celebration of making the shortlist after the game, we're like, we're going to get stuck in match day traffic, getting a taxi now, let's get to the casino. Had a couple of pints in the casino, we're like, where else is open? Went to the strip, as Matty farted on a strip.
On a stripper? Why was he on her?
No, it was like she walked into it.
Oh.
It was like, it wasn't during a dance.
Aye.
It was like, he was like, fucking hell, what's wrong with my guts? I keep fucking farting and all that, right? And we just like stood having a pint. It was pretty rammed in there. It's match day. Man United got beat. Just a bunch of, like, me and Matty were the youngest people in there, let's say that, right? It was a bunch of fucking dirty old men drowning their sorrows, right? And like, we're the youngest, but...
So the 2 40-year-olds at a stripper's.
Look, I didn't have a horse in the race for the match. I wasn't drowning these sorrows. But I was a dirty old man. Look, part of the sentence was true, but the sentence as a whole was false. That's my spin. So it was like, we were just watching the lasses hustle, right? Because they were, normally in a strip club that's not so busy, everybody's got a seat. They'll work around, they'll come and sit and talk to you, they'll flirt with you for a bit, make you feel special. And then they'll ask if you want to dance, and you'll go into a booth while there and get a private dance. Private being the public word, and that'll last the length of a song for your money, right? And these girls were going around. There was no room for a booth. Everywhere was just people, right? And they were going up to people, asking if they wanted to dance, taking their money, dancing for them for 30 seconds, and then fucking off. They were hustling. The girls were making mad bank. Anyway, I was just going, that's class. And they were coming chatting to us, and I was just like, didn't waste any of your time worse, man, than money to be made. Like, getting out of there. So we weren't like getting dances and that, or just like fucking just watching them like fucking behind the tree on Bridesmaids. You sent that gif into the WhatsApp, didn't you? Doing sit-ups and looking from behind the tree. So we were like spying on the dancers from a bush. Spying on the bush from a...
Right.
And I built it that joke because you can't spy from a dance.
Why not? You probably could.
Spying on a dance from a bush and spying on a bush from a dance floor. Yeah, I could have done it.
You could be on the dance floor, and you're blending in by dancing, and then you're like looking at people just to see if their short skirts show bush for some reason.
So anyway, we were just there having a pint, chatting about because we've got loads of shit coming up this year, so we're talking about all the parties that we're going to be having within a strip club, and Matty's just like in the middle of going, talking about your trip and talking about what we're going to do for cans and that. He's just like, oh, me guts, man, there's something wrong with me guts. This fucking lad's just whacking into it like it was a brick wall. And looked at Matty, didn't they? And they went, that's fucking lifting. In a proper deep man. Oh, I was fucking dying.
No, you've not converted me to strip clubs. Like every time you tell stories, that I'm like, and what part of this is?
I like to be like, it's like, it's like being in a bar where like there's a match on that you're keeping half an eye on.
But I also don't love that. That's not a class time for me.
You didn't like being in a busy bar, do you?
Nah.
No,
man, it's also just like, I don't like being in quiet fucking bars. You know, remember when I was down in Norwich, you were away for some reason, so I was just at the fucking day off on tour, and I went to watch the Arsenal-Everton match, whichever ended up winning, and this guy, there's nobody in this fucking pub. Guy walks over, he goes, mind if I join you for the match? And I was like, I really do. Nah, not at all. I didn't say anything the next bit, but it's like, I don't care about your opinions on the football match. I don't want to see how you react to things.
I can tell you now, it's going to be 5 minutes before you get comfortable being racist.
Not even that, man. Man could be the nicest cunt in the world. You
didn't want to take the risk. You didn't want to gamble on being stuck with a fucking melon. Like, it's not worth the gamble. Like, if he was sound as fuck, right? Like, it's not worth the payoff of risking someone being an absolute tit.
Well, you're not getting a fucking free show, cunt.
Aye. But that was a good night. I've had a fucking... I managed to bang 7 sessions in 7... So, not 7. I'm overselling myself. It's underwhelming.
That's new.
3 big sessions in 3 different cities in the space of 7 days is what I was trying to say with a sentence. Because I had a gate crash to stag do in Dublin. The accountant stag do, I think we talked about that in the last podcast. And then a couple of days later, I went down to Matty's, kind of half got proposed to and got drunk on whiskey because of it. And then and then gate crashed Paul Smith's stag do.
We did,
and you fucking left at the exact right time.
Oh, I was.
You're getting good at that. Like, you're getting good at 9 when the party's over.
Aye, just going right. Well, and it's always 45 minutes after you see your first person taking an MDMA bomb, where you go, all right, that's the light just at the back of the room. Would you be like, I mean, you can stay beyond the light, but crowd's about to get rowdy.
I saw a video of my face at like 4 a.m. I showed my wife. I was like, seen the clip of me last night. I was meant to get back as well. I told her she was picking us up. I was just like, I'm going to pop in. And so I get crashing the stag do, right? Like, we're just fucking, he's nearby, so he's invited. We're welcome there. We're not like gate crashing it. But, you know, if he was doing it in London, we would have probably not gotten the invite. We're now well enough. But like, so I was like, I'm gonna do the whiskey tasting. I'll come back. We'll get the last train, and Natalie can pick us up from the train station, right? And I'm there with Mark Nelson. He's got the exact same vibes. Fucking cut at 10:30. I've missed my last train. Natalie's texting us again. What time we need picking up? I was like, fuck this. Like, I've absolutely fucked this. We've been day drinking.
Where did you end up sleeping?
I woke up in a 4-poster bed, so someone slept rough. But I woke up. It was like about 4:30 a.m. Mark Nelson, fucking co-host of the pod when you're away, fucking stood at the foot of my bed and he was like, I'm walking back.
Man, there's something about a night out in a place that he's never been to that makes Nelson go, I'm going to go orienteering at 5 a.m. to get home.
He'd done it in the middle of nowhere in Malaga.
Oh man!
He's done it from Edinburgh.
From your fucking stag do, he decided to just to be very we tried to. I think a taxi wouldn't come pick him up, or it was fucking lost, and he needed to get a train back to his family the next day.
And the taxi was like, I'm at this bit of civilization that's fucking miles away, and Mark was just like, I'll meet you there, keep the meter running or whatever, and walk to it, and got circled by dogs in the wilderness.
Coyotes,
Fuck me, I could hear them barking and I was like, Mark's out in that.
That's why I killed all 3 of them.
They did.
That's the coat he wears now.
Got into my Zubo with blood all over his mouth. And I stood at the foot of my bed and he was like, I fucking got the school run.
No, see, I was, I think it was...
I think you walked to Falkirk and got the first train.
I've definitely taken my last ecstasy pill a while ago. I don't think I'll go near. I don't think I'll go in there. I don't think I'll go near uppers again. I'm pretty sure, like, I'm at the end of my gear years.
Because I haven't dabbled with it in a while now. It's been
so long since I've been.
Ages.
It's been so long since I've been cool.
I forgot how sucky come downs are in that you feel like you get your come down and you feel a little bit of like overriding sadness just washes over your life, right? And also like, you lack motivation to do the smallest things. Make yourself food, like just watch a TV show that like takes a little bit of concentration. Which is why I ended up watching Hot Ones. Right, I was going to Natalie because I was still riding me come down. I'm an old man now. I was like, let's just watch something where if I fall asleep in front of it, it's fine. If I would miss a little bit of a conversation, I don't need to rewind it. Let's just watch something like and end up watching that. I was on like really low processing. But the thing is, you don't think. Your default thought isn't, this is my come down, it too shall pass. Your default thought is, this is just how I feel all the time.
This is it.
I'm depressed.
It's depression goggles. You get to go, God, that is, I can see why. Oh boy, I can take those off and not live that life anymore.
Mental health tourism. Not for me.
I can see why you people need contacts.
You can see how you're alcoholics and that. Fucking God bless. So I've been, you know what as well though, I've been at the gym 4 times a week and still managing to sesh hard. So I'm
you're doing the same thing as me, just damn limitations.
I'm still looking at my gut and like I could have getting rid of that easy.
I'm doing a week this week of I do every now and again where I'm challenging my palate. When I go, right, you've another year of your life's gone by, right? You're 31. Let's see if you're old enough to enjoy certain vegetables.
You're doing a little like just You keep checking in.
Yeah, I always do. Man, look, I've always said, me and Cara, we don't enjoy being picky eaters, but we are. If there was a magic fucking spell I could do that would make me like eggs, my life would be thousands of times better. I would enjoy Australia more as a country if I enjoyed eggs. Yeah. I would enjoy breakfast way more. I would have healthier breakfasts, more variety in my breakfast if we enjoyed eggs. I just fucking don't.
I felt like you were really missing out on me and Neil having a little food holiday.
Aye.
We were like little food bloggers that didn't write a blog afterwards. I'll all tour.
Aye.
And you were just like the occasional pancakes. Sleeping in.
And I get the opportunity because of my job to be taken to really nice restaurants by some people who think I'm classier than I am. And there's times where I'm like, man, I wish I enjoyed that goat's cheese and fucking fennel covered roast pepper, blah blah blah, shite stuff that makes me vomit in my mouth. Now, I wish I'd like that. So what I do is I just get a bit more adventurous with Joe Wicks stuff. That's how I dabble differently.
I mean, that's exactly what we do.
Aye, you just go, okay, Joe, let's try this fucking tuna and couscous, you fucking saucy boy.
So Natalie's on the strict body coach plan where every meal, every workout, every snack is.
If he came out as a wrong and it would destroy, it would fucking break this country at its fucking kneecaps.
He has got a fucking he's got a duty to a lot of people that have thoroughly invested in him.
Aye, you're too pure. I'm sorry, man. If you
become asexual, get castrated, become a
no. He's got to have. He can't stop having kids, and he can never cheat. He can never look. He's just. Oh yeah, he's got to remain asexual to us and the audience. Sorry,
he's got to.
I thought you meant one day he's just like, and I no longer feel anything sexually towards my beautiful wife. I'm off.
No, I mean like David Attenborough.
Aye.
I know nothing about David Attenborough's urges because he's never been in the newspaper for being a rat.
Man, he fucks all the animals before he films them. He's like, if you thought Harvey Weinstein was bad, just ask those elephants how they got on the show.
If that was that break. If that was that big break.
Honestly, man, a bunch of endangered monkeys come up to them. They're like, well, honestly, they keep poaching us to the point of extinction. He's like, do they? And what are you willing to do for your future generations? I'm going to get a reach around from a spider monkey one way or another.
I was wondering why all them elephants had runny noses. That wasn't
it's just them upset remembering the trauma.
Wasn't he snot?
Also, I know it's not funny to picture an elephant being upset for the sexual assault that David Attenborough did on them, unless you imagine them drying their eyes with Kleenex in their trunk. Then it's funny. Then it is objectively funny. Joe Wicks has to remain so clean. Otherwise, it would be the death of an idol.
He's becoming a national treasure.
Or, and I do not wish this on him because I'm part of he's got to die before his time. He's got Steve Irwin it. Mind you, though, I do think Steve Irwin would have remained pure. I think what his family is proof that he would have just remained pure until the end. I feel the same is true.
He would have been a brutal one to find out that he was fucking up knee good.
Aye. Well, I mean, his death was tragic enough, man. A fucking stingray killed him.
Aye, but like...
That's like when Colin McRae died in a helicopter crash.
As you discovered, death isn't the worst thing that could happen. Like the actual, fucking if Conor McGregor had died when we loved him, that would have been better for us as fans. If Conor McGregor had just find out that we're backed the wrong horse entirely.
Just like the day after who did he beat for the second title?
Eddie Alvarez.
Thank you. Of course it was. Yeah, that's when he became champ. If he died a couple of months after that, sadly.
That would have been like the peak,
Sadly, he went, I'm going to start writing my own chapters.
It's like, man, imagine fucking like my dad loved Bruce Lee. That's his fucking generational martial arts guy, right? And fucking if Bruce Lee had just become Conor McGregor in the way he fucking went on and with the way of money.
Say that he did. He fucked all of the stunt doubles. That's how they got on the movies. He was like, I'm going to do exactly what my favourite director, David Attenborough's done, and do the exact same thing.
Didn't Quentin Tarantino throw him under the bus? Bruce Lee in that one that's got Brad Pitt and George Clooney in it. What's it called? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He just made Bruce Lee an absolute tosser.
Well, no, I think because Joe Rogan complained about that, and then there was Quentin Tarantino was on the podcast, and he was explaining like Bruce Lee in some stories, like, was an absolute bit of a dick. Because why would he respect American stuntmen? Like, I can understand where, if it's true, where his arrogance came from. Where he's like, I'm the fucking greatest martial artist of all time, and some fucking yank who lives in Hollywood thinks he's going to be better than stunts than me. Get fucked. I believe it's true. I reckon he was like that.
Right, he was a bit of a
wank. No. I reckon he kept it under. I reckon he wouldn't flaunt on a podcast like some fucking wank boss. But I reckon, man, if you can kick everyone in the world's ass, right? Obviously, you've got a level of fucking restraint where you're like, right, I'm the most dangerous man on the planet. I'll never use it for evil. And if some cunt starts acting the hard man in front of you, like, don't make me slap you. Like, don't make me do it. Like, acknowledge I'm the hardest cunt in the world.
And that was Tarantino's like excuse for making him like that. Is just like
no. He was Tarantino's mad into the history of Bruce Lee. Like, he's a massive Bruce Lee fan, and he just knows the history. And I think apparently, like, even I don't know. I don't watch Joe Rogan because
we've been over it.
Aye.
Do you reckon it would demolish people if we turned out to be Rogans?
No, well, I don't know.
If we turned out to that would beat Natalie and Cara.
Aye, if there was something. I think for some people, not a lot of people, but there would be.
There's some people that are like they've spent so much time with that, like, we're literally owed to them just to be decent for the rest of our lives or die.
Aye, I mean, I imagine we've probably already like disappointed some people to the point where like there'll be something weird that we've done. And they'll just go, you know how some people are like, oh, it's the final straw for me if somebody's...
Some people have got to have went off because we're free, the way we talk freely about drug use.
Maybe,
like, some people have still got very much the line in the sand about, like, it's binary. There's druggies.
Aye.
And then there's decent people.
Aye.
And when we flick that switch onto where druggies, it's like, you know, we're past the point of no return for them.
Yeah, I think that's a very British thing as well. I just think, you know, there's always been a fucking stoner
it's
culture.
Generational too.
Aye.
Yeah. So...
Did you
know
more
Joe Wicks? Now, I was just trying to backtrack to excavate the conversation.
I thought we were that conversation.
I was saying I've tied myself onto Natalie's Joe Wicks plan, but obviously I can't eat the same as her, otherwise we'd end up the same size.
Aye.
So I have to just like make myself little side meals, big pots of chili and stuff, and
I have to feed Cara because otherwise she will forget to eat.
How do you deal with that fact that you are different sizes? It's just different portions.
Different portions.
Because if everybody's like eating the same food, you've got to be the same size, right? Like, but that doesn't work with couples. Couples are always.
Aye.
So you have to really cater for that. If you're eating as a team.
Yeah, and also it means it limits our meals because I'm like, it means at lunchtime is when I'm more adventurous. Dinner times we eat together, whereas lunchtime I'll cook myself something and I'll make her something, or at least I'll try to. I should definitely do it more. I should definitely be. I think I'm going to lean into. Not that I've not leaned into it already, but I think I'm going to lean way further into house bitch. Big fan of it. Big fan of being like, if she's just out there, fucking being sucked on all the time. I might as well go around.
I'll do house elf. Like, I just fucking put her on Dobby.
You try and make him alley by making it elf. You don't like
Dobby the husbelf.
Aye. Okay, you know, my mum would like it on a Minion meme.
Hooba, husband that picks you up from places when you're out on a night out.
I'd never heard that.
That was Maxwell coined that one. Meg.
Aye.
So you know what, Natalie was getting back to talking about your stag. Natalie was saying like, I wonder if the girls are going to plan a week away and just leave all the men at home with the kids, right? As if it was like preposterous idea. And I was like, I think that we've got a couple of friendship groups, people in my friendship group where the man is definitely just the babysitter.
Aye.
Right, and like you need like strict instructions to leave his own children with him, right? But I feel like in our group, we've got a bit more like joint primary caregiver. And if ever the mother doesn't want to go away from the baby and leave it to you, it's not the distrust from you, it's not wanting to be away from the baby.
Yeah.
It's their own thing rather than...
The only reason Cara doesn't want to leave Kaelin for long periods of time is because she's breastfeeding, and if she doesn't feed him for 4 hours, her tits get really hard and painful, and she has to milk herself over 6.
She doesn't quite want to do that in Wagamama's bathroom.
Aye. She's just like, it's very much like, you know, she trusts me with him for long periods of time. And we both acknowledge like her, you know, she's like, I'm way too protective of him, and I'm like, I'll also acknowledge I am far too comfortable with him sometimes because I'm like, babies bounce, man. They're built to survive.
So that's the reason that she wouldn't want to leave him. It's like he's got a completely skewed view of what's health and safety.
I think she was like, when it's just me and him, I'll be extra careful. But man, he's a baby.
So would you be in the camp where if she wanted to go away for a week, you could just be like, mum and dad at home?
Yeah, easy.
No,
no, sorry.
Past the milk bit. Like, we've got to get past the milk bit.
Don't let me say easy as if that's an easy thing to do. I imagine it would be as difficult as fucking being a parent is.
Yeah, it would be just the same as leaving for her.
Aye, but I wouldn't be like, oh God, what am I wouldn't be like, oh God, what am I going to do? I've got no idea. I can fucking change a nappy and feed a child and get them to sleep and comfort them. And, but big 2 rules: don't help them, don't fuck them. That's the big 2. The only ones you got to remember.
If not for the child, just for the podcast listeners that have invested in one.
Yeah, that's my rule for them. Don't help them, don't fuck them.
You're the only people that keep us on the straight.
I'll only ever verbally hit you, and I'll only ever verbally fuck you. We're slowly adding. Basically, the rest of my year is I'm doing Fringe, and then we will be slowly adding in I don't know where I'll be at performance-wise. So there's probably going to be a lot of Daniel Sloss and friends in shows in cities where you are, if you're in Europe or the UK.
Build the show.
Aye, and it's just if I can't fill fucking 90 minutes myself, I'll do 50 minutes to an hour, and then just also get my friends to come out, because then I'll have a bit more fun and enjoy it a bit more.
So we're both doing Fringe shows. Yours is a work in progress.
Yes, I'm the worst. I will acknowledge it. I'm the worst fucking comic. It's a disgraceful thing that no professional comic should do.
Is to use a festival to
the Edinburgh Festival, the largest arts festival in the fucking world.
Yeah, what are you building a show for? Yeah. A smaller festival up the road?
Yeah, madness. The disrespect to go to the largest arts festival in the world and just half-arse the fucking show just because we would be to be there and be involved. But motherfucker, it's been I was at the last year's one. It was good. It's not the full one yet. It's my fucking, say I've been here for ages. It's on my doorstep. And also, I've done 13 or 14. How old am I?
I'm doing my 10th Fringe show this year. I'm calling it X.
Roman
numeral. Is that why you called XX?
Aye.
That was right. It actually was. I thought it was a kiss.
No. Yeah. My show about rape was called Kiss.
Aye. It should have stopped.
Aye. So,
and, I'm going to Altitude next week.
Oh, aye.
So you're not coming because you've got a baby and whatnot. Do you want me to take all this shit and do podcasts out there with her? Because there's quite a. If you check the lineup for fucking Altitude, it's class. Some of you are coming. I can't wait to see you all, and a lot of the listeners are planning on coming.
Definitely. And also Nelson's out there, so you've got your co-host.
Yeah, Nelson's going to be there. Elliot Steele's there. Gareth, Colin. There's going to be.
Well, don't put Colin on.
And they're the people that you know off the podcast, but there's a fucking shit ton of talent that have never been on that I can introduce you to. So I will Thursday Patreon. We'll be together.
I mean, we're doing it now.
We're going to do it now?
Aye.
Sweet. And then I'll see you in Altitude on next Monday. Fucking class.
Bye, motherfuckers.